Have you ever wondered why some people seem to live vibrantly into their 90s, while others start falling apart at 75? Doctors have discovered that nearly 99% of people over 75 die from just 5 key mistakes. And the shocking part? They're completely preventable. Stay with me until the end, because one of these mistakes might already be affecting you right now. And you won't even know it until it's too late. Let's dive in. Meet Margaret. She was 78, full of energy and loved gardening. But one day, she tripped over a small step in her home. No big deal, right? But when she tried to get up, she realized she couldn't. Her bones had shattered like glass. The doctors diagnosed her with osteoporosis, something she had never even thought about. What Margaret didn't realize is that after 50, we all start losing bone density. But after 75, it accelerates drastically. Every year, over 300,000 elderly people in the US are hospitalized for hip fractures. And here's the scary part. Nearly 1 in 3 die within a year. Here is how to prevent this from happening. Doctors say osteoporosis is 100% preventable if you do 3 things. 1. Increase calcium and vitamin D intake. Most elderly people don't get enough. 2. Strength training and weight-bearing exercises. Walking isn't enough. You need to add resistance. 3. Balance training. Simple exercises reduce your fall risk dramatically. Margaret never saw it coming, but you can. Let's move on to mistake number 2. And trust me, this one is killing millions of elderly people silently. At 76, John was in great shape, or so he thought. One morning, while making his coffee, he felt a sudden weakness in his arm. His vision blurred, and before he knew it, he was on the floor. John had just suffered a major stroke. The scariest part? He had no warning signs. Doctors say the number 1 risk factor for strokes and heart attacks in the elderly is high blood pressure, also called the silent killer. Over 70% of people over 75 have undiagnosed high blood pressure. But here's the problem. It doesn't hurt. You feel fine. You don't realize your arteries are stiffening until it's too late. Here's how to prevent this. Doctors recommend: 1. Check your blood pressure every week. A home monitor is cheap and could save your life. 2. Reduce processed foods. Excess salt is deadly. 3. Drink more water and eat potassium-rich foods. Bananas, avocados, and spinach keep arteries flexible. 4. Meditation and deep breathing. Studies show it lowers blood pressure faster than medication in some cases. John survived his stroke, but his life was never the same. If he had controlled his blood pressure earlier, he might have avoided the damage altogether. Now, let's move on to mistake number 3, one that's stealing your memory right now without you noticing. Imagine waking up one day, looking at your own child and not remembering their name. That's exactly what happened to Linda at age 79. She was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. What most people don't know is that the brain starts deteriorating 20 to 30 years before symptoms appear. By the time you forget where you put your keys, the damage is already done. Doctors say Alzheimer's is not just bad luck. There are 2 major causes you can control. 1. Chronic inflammation. Processed foods, sugar, and unhealthy fats damage brain cells over decades. 2. Lack of mental stimulation. If you stop learning, your brain shrinks faster. Here are the best methods to avoid this. The Mediterranean diet, full of healthy fats, veggies, and omega-3s that literally rebuild brain cells. Learn something new daily. Reading, puzzles, and learning a language strengthen memory. Avoid alcohol and smoking. Even moderate drinking shrinks the brain. Linda's memory faded, but yours doesn't have to. Up next, mistake number 4 is a shocking habit that is worse than smoking. Dr. Stephen Gundry, a world-renowned heart surgeon, studied why some people drop dead suddenly, even though they seem healthy. His shocking discovery? The real culprit wasn't smoking, drinking, or even bad genetics. It was sitting too much. Most people over 75 spend 10+ hours sitting daily, and research shows sitting for more than 6 hours a day increases death risk by 40%. The risk is higher than smoking for heart disease and cancer. Here's the solution. Doctors say you must move every 30 minutes. Set a timer. Stand up, stretch, do 10 squats. Get a dog. Walking 3 times a day reduces heart disease by 35%. Try chair yoga or gentle stretching. If mobility is an issue, Dr. Gundry says, if you sit, you rust. If you move, you live. And now, mistake number 5 is the deadliest of all. If you had to guess the number 1 cause of death for people over 75, what would you say? Cancer? Stroke? Heart disease? The real answer is infections. Doctors say many elderly people die from infections they never even knew they had. Pneumonia. A simple cough turns deadly fast. Urinary tract infections, UTIs, can cause sudden confusion and even coma. Sepsis, the silent killer that turns minor infections into organ failure. Here's how to prevent this. Stay hydrated. Dehydration makes infections worse. Don't ignore fevers or sudden confusion. These can be early infection signs. Boost your immune system. Vitamin C, zinc, and elderberry cut infection risk in half. The bottom line, 99% of elderly deaths are preventable. And now, you have the knowledge to stop them. Before you go, I just want to say this. Your life still has so much ahead. You've laughed, loved, and lived through decades of memories. You are stronger than you think. And if you're watching this right now, it means you still have time. Time to make small changes that will add years of joy, laughter, and love to your life. Maybe it's walking a little more each day, eating just a bit healthier, or calling an old friend to share a story. Every small step matters. Because the truth is, life isn't measured by the number of years, but by the moments that take our breath away. So keep moving, keep learning, and most importantly, keep living. If you found this video helpful, share it with someone you love. Let's help more people live long, healthy, and happy lives together. Take care, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next video.